Grindelwald, Switzerland isn't exactly known as a cheap destination. So what do you do if you're traveling here on a budget? Well, here's a list of our top 14 cheap and free things to do in Grindelwald.
You can reach all of these sites with buses for free using the Grindelwald Guest Card or by walking. In case you didn't know, when you stay in Grindelwald, you'll receive the Grindelwald Guest Card for free from your Airbnb or hotel, which covers all the local Grindelwald bus lines and provides a discount on some activities as well. But, and this is really important, it does not cover any of the trains or cable cars, although it does usually give you some sort of discount. The items on this list are in no particular order, but we're gonna start with this Grindelwald viewpoint since it's so close to the train station. When you arrive at the Grindelwald train station, you're just a 2-minute walk from this terrace. You can check out the sculptures, but you're really just here to see the views, right? The looming Eiger stands right in front of you with this black and white north face. You can also spy the Eiger Express cable car and the peak of Männlichen. Jana loves to admire the Swiss chalets and green farms across the valley, and I think it's a pretty great place to walk in the hills too.
Kraftwerk is a new bakery in Grindelwald, and we're super impressed by their delicious pastries and affordable prices. And of course, Brett cannot resist a chocolate croissant. If I hadn't already eaten breakfast this morning, I probably would have ordered more because the entire case of baked goods are so beautiful that they could sell themselves. There's also some handmade chocolate, which is very tempting, but we have another chocolate spot on our list for later.
By the way, I'm sure the coffee is good, but don't get it here. Trust me, you'll want to have it at my favorite spot in town, which is Eiger Bean. If you've seen any of our other coffee videos, then you know that I am a bit of a coffee snob. But this place says it's for people who like good coffee, so I'm in great company. We've tried a ton of drinks from the menu, like the espresso, cappuccino, lemonade, tea, steamed milk, and other unique concoctions like the coffee bonbon. But I usually get a cappuccino, and Jana likes the cascara, which is actually a caffeinated fruit tea made from the cherry of the coffee plant.
Next on our list is the cathedral, which sits at the far end of town. You can enter for free and peek around inside, and there are paths winding through the garden and the graveyard. Plus, you get another great view of the sprawling green fields and even a glacier in the distance. But here's the pro tip. We generally encourage travelers to leave a little bit more wiggle room in their itinerary instead of squashing things in back to back. And here is a perfectly good reason why.
You're gonna come to Grindelwald and be blown away by how beautiful it is. But the best part, in our opinion, is when you venture beyond the village. So just go explore. Once you pass the church, wander through the hills. There are so many little roads and paths and trails. You'll see local homes, lots of animals, and probably a few farm fridges as well. Not to mention that so many benches make fantastic picnic spots. And the best part is that whenever you're done, you can just head toward the main road and ride the bus back into town. And that ride will be free thanks to your Grindelwald Guest Card. And another free thing to do is
hike to Pfingsteg. This is a great spot for families, and we'll tell you why in just a minute. You can hike up from the trail directly behind the Pfingsteg cable car station, or ride the bus for free to Hotel Wetterhorn, and then follow the trail to reach Pfingsteg in just a little over an hour.
Why go up to Pfingsteg? For the adventure activities. Most tourists end up visiting Grindelwald first, which didn't make this list because it's a lot more expensive unless you have a train pass, but that's for another video. But if you don't want to wait in long lines or don't want to be surrounded by tons of people, then Pfingsteg is the place for you. The toboggan is a mountain coaster where you twist and turn your way down the mountain with epic views all around you before you're pulled right back up to the starting line. And the fly line is like a controlled zip line that winds through the trees. We both thought it sounded a bit lame at first, but we completely changed our minds once we actually rode it, and then we took 3 rides in a row. In our opinion, Pfingsteg is fun for the whole family, which is why we included it in our 3-day guide to Grindelwald.
This area of Switzerland is really well known for their farm fridges. So the farmers are out working their land and animals during the day, so they set up these little self-service shops where you can buy their local products. And as you explore Grindelwald, you will find these all over the hillsides. This is one of our favorites, and it's on the path just below Dorfstrasse. Normally, you just find cheese and sausage and maybe some eggs or butter. But this one also has homemade pasta, jams, cookies, and even small gifts.
We spent the last 3 summers in the Jungfrau region, and I've had a blast finding a bunch of local breweries like this one. Nord van Broy brews their beer at the foot of the Eiger North Face, and they use traditional brewing techniques to craft 4 different varieties: a pale ale, a dark ale, a lager, and a cloudy light beer. Stefan is the brewmaster, and even though he doesn't speak great English, he's super friendly and willing to help. And honestly, how hard is it to say, "I'd like to try a beer, please"? Their opening hours are kinda sparse, so give them a call before visiting. But you can often find their beers in the larger grocery stores, as well as many of the restaurants. And by the way, they don't have a sign out front, but you'll know you're in the right spot when you see their name on the mailbox.
If you saw our video about things to do in Latcherbrunnen, then you might remember that we went to their Value Museum, and well, Grindelwald has one too. It's a small building with so many items about Grindelwald's history, culture, and tourism. If you're interested in history or find yourself in Grindelwald on a rainy afternoon, this could be a great activity.
So many of you have asked if there are any local dairy farms to tour in the area. And while we haven't come across any specific tours, thankfully there are a ton of local cheese shops like Eigergletscher. This small store sells Berner Oberland's specialty cheeses and dairy products. If you haven't had any of the local yogurt, you'll definitely want to try that because it is super creamy. But today we were here for cheese, and she recommended a 2022 Alp cheese because we are huge fans of the strong aged flavor of Alp cheese.
Man, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Switzerland is a great place for families because there are playgrounds all over the place, including this one right here in the center of Grindelwald. There are a few benches where you can admire the views while your kids play, and just around the corner there are also a bunch of picnic tables and free public bathrooms. And another place just around the corner from the playground is the Grindelwald Sports Center. For just 5 francs per person with the Grindelwald Guest Card, you can access the indoor swimming pool. Of course, kids and families are gonna love that. For 15 francs per person, you can also access the whole wellness area and sauna too.
And did you really think we could make a list of things to do in Grindelwald and not include Swiss chocolate? Pop into the Swiss Chocolate Chalet for a bite of gourmet Swiss chocolate. But here's a little tip. If you're really on a budget or want to bring some chocolate home with you in your suitcase, which we've totally done before, then just head to the grocery store where you'll find endless varieties for you to enjoy.
Obviously, there are so many more things to do in Grindelwald, and we have just started scratching the surface. So watch this next to help plan your Grindelwald itinerary, or check out this playlist with more cheap and free things to do in other Swiss destinations, and we'll see you in Switzerland.